All right. We are live here in Topper Radio Station. My name is Josh Hankin, and today we are introduced, well, we're not introduced, but rather we are welcomed with a special guest, someone who's near and dear to my heart. And oh my God, I should have been a little bit more prepared. Oh God. No, okay. But anyways, here it is. The man, the myth, the legend in my heart, the one I love the most, Brad Stank. Welcome. How are you doing?
Hello, I'm good, man. Thanks for having me.
Thanks for
How are you
joining us.
today?
Good, good. The weather's not too shabby over here. Just it's a little warm, not too warm, but enough to
Beautiful.
wear some sandals outside. Enjoy the
Nice.
enjoy the grass on your feet.
Nice. Sick. Love that.
So yeah, no, like I said, just thanks for joining us. It means a lot. Again, we're all thrilled to have you here as at Top Radio, especially here at the Owl Access Garage. So yeah, like I said, how about we just dive right into it, right?
Let's go.
All right, cool. So, Brad Stank, right? Where did it all start for your band? What was kind of the origin story of who you are now?
I guess I've been doing Brad Stank since maybe 2016 or something. Like when I was, how old would I have been? I don't know, 20, like 20 maybe. But I've been in bands like sort of through my teenage years and stuff, and obviously they helped. I used to play in a band called Trudy and the Romance, who I was with for like 4 years playing drums, which was really good experience as well. And then I just started making these weird sort of like tunes in my bedroom, trying to like be this sexy guy, um, like a little alter ego sort of vibe. So yeah, that was the Brad Stank thing, and it's been fun. I still really enjoy it. So
Right on, right
yeah,
on. Yeah. So, yeah, I mean, just listening to music, I think now that I was looking back at the Spotify, it's been since 2019 since I've recognized who you were, and it's just an amazing artist. And for everyone who hasn't heard of Brad Stank, and some now is your time. It's the awakening to want to listen to Brad Stank.
check me out.
He's yeah, very calm, very chill music. I feel like something. In fact, I don't want to get too into it, but I had gone to the doctor recently, and just listening to music just calmed me down a lot. Just had popped the
Yeah,
earphone on, and it's just something that you can just relax to. So
love
I
that.
totally think it's amazing. It's beautiful. But was there anyone or anything who inspired you perhaps to probably get into the music scene?
Um, I mean, especially for this stuff that I'm doing now, the Brad Stank thing, it was definitely this guy Conan Moccasin, um, who's still one of my favorite artists. Um, there's a lot of stuff, like Mac DeMarco back in the day as well when he released his 2 album, um, and then before that, bands like artists like Richard Hawley. Um, he's still a really big influence as well. I don't know, the Beatles, Elvis was a big like Nirvana fan and like Smashing Pumpkins and Dinosaur Jr. back in the day as well. Pixies. Um, so yeah, loads of musical artists. And a lot of like I really like poetry as well. Jack Kerouac's a big influence and all those like beat poet guys. Um, so yeah, I'm just like looking around the room at my like records and books and stuff and trying to trying to decide. Bukowski, big guy, Charles Bukowski. Yeah, there's lots of Brazilian guys. Um, yeah, loads of influences. Yeah.
Right on, right on. And so, getting all of the, I guess inspiration from stuff, kind of understanding who you are as a person, especially your band. Brad Stink is a very interesting, uh, you know, I guess band name for that in that case. But why's the story behind that? Perhaps maybe that is your real name. You don't know. How is that?
No, it's not my real name. No, it's just like a really stupid name that I just started like putting. I think when I made my SoundCloud account, I just called it Brad Stank. You know, and I thought it was funny. Um, and like kind of seeing it in the past tense sort of thing, of like that I used to stink or whatever. Um, and yeah, I just used to like whenever I like had like I don't know if you really play this game in the US, but there's a game called Football Manager, which is kind of like FIFA. and every time I made a manager on that game, I just called him Brad Stank. But like if I was making if I was like creating a player in like WWE or like FIFA or something, it'd always just be called Brad Stank. Yeah, so it's just always been my little name for my weird video game characters and stuff.
So even now to this day, right? You know, if you're going to be making any character for that case, it's always going to be Brad Stank, correct?
100%, yeah, of course.
Right on. So then, you know, just kind of, you know, still talking about you as an individual, you know, what do you do outside of music? You know, so you're not in the studio creating music. You know, do you have any hobby sports or attend events perhaps you like?
Yeah, I'm kind of addicted to playing chess. Um, which is, I don't know if you've seen about all the chess. There's a chess drama right now with this US guy, which is kind of interesting. But yeah, I play a lot of chess, online and in person. Really love football as well. Since I was a kid, big Liverpool fan, or soccer, you know, but yeah, football. Um, and yeah, I don't play too much, but like I'm always watching it with my friends and stuff like that. So yeah, those two things mainly. But I mean, a lot of stuff is reading and playing music. I guess yeah, takes up a lot of the time.
So kind of, you know, talking about that, you and your love for football, how close would you say the TV show Ted Lasso would be? I'm just kind of curious because I've been getting into that as recently, so I don't know.
You know what? I actually don't know. I've seen like one episode of it. I had one of my housemates a couple of years ago was really into it and loved it. But yeah, I couldn't really say because I've not seen it enough. But it's probably pretty accurate, I think, but maybe exaggerated a little bit or something. You know?
I mean, I personally with me, I usually you know, so, like I guess football rather. It's a little bit, you know, it's I guess my brain can't wrap around it. That's why I'm just maybe not to watch it often. I just know that it's a very strenuous sport. So I can understand why you guys would appreciate that. It's very much so, especially the time and work that they all put into that for sure.
Yeah, it's huge here. It's just like ingrained in people here to just love football. Um, yeah, since you're a kid, you're like it's the one thing you go out and do with your dad or whatever. You know, I feel like in America you go and like catch balls with like the big mitt on or something like baseball gloves and stuff. But here, your dad just takes you out with a football, and that's what you do. And you get a team when you're young, you know, and then you just like live and die for that team through your whole life for like no reason. But yeah, people love it, super passionate about it, and it's good. It's like Liverpool doing quite well, not this season, but last season they were really good. So, and I live in Liverpool, so it kind of brings the city together. You know, there's like a big final, and the whole city's like out in the streets drinking and you know, celebrating and stuff. And so yeah, it's really like a really big part of the culture in England.
You should totally see the Dallas Cowboys, man. Back where I used to live at,
Oh yeah,
they used to go ahead each time the Cowboys would win. I'm not even joking. They'd go outside and people would get their guns and start shooting it in the air. You know, it's like celebration.
Yeah. Wow.
So I don't know if it's that crazy with you guys, but these people would get super like hyped for winning, and like the police I know would always be there on the sides making sure people weren't doing anything like that.
Is that? What's the Cowboys? Is that football? Or?
Yeah, it's American football. The Dallas Cowboys is like
right.
They claim, you know, I'm not, you know, personally I don't like the Cowboys, but you know, even though we're here in Texas, you know, the point is that yeah, they're considered America's team, which I don't think they are. But you know,
I got into NBA for a little bit actually. I had like 2K19, I think, back in the day.
Yeah.
I was trying to like understand basketball. And yeah, I watched like the Michael Jordan, the Last Dance thing on Netflix and stuff. And I was like, oh yeah, like, basketball's pretty exciting. But yeah, I can't like yeah, I'm too engrossed in football. I can't. Football already takes up too much of my time and space. I can't get into any other sports at this point.
I kind of did the same thing where during the whole pandemic, I had that. I ended up buying Tony Hawk, that pro skater one, and I went out and bought a skateboard, and then I just learn for like a couple days, and I'm like, this thing's a little bit too hard for me.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I tried to learn to skate when I was a kid too, and it just never happened. Yeah, had no balance or anything. But yeah, skating's pretty big here as well. Actually, grew up in a big like group of skaters and stuff. And yeah, I like skateboarding as well, but I could never like ride a skateboard or anything. So
yeah, and I guess still kind of on that topic, as far as attending events goes, do you find yourself ever going to concerts, perhaps maybe in a way to get inspired to make new music or be creative a little bit, something like that?
yeah. I go to concerts a lot actually. A lot of my friends playing bands and stuff, so always going to see my friends play. And yeah, who I've seen like I've seen some good bands this year. I've seen Ton Starts Bandit. I don't know if you know them. I think they're from Florida. I saw them in Liverpool. They were amazing. I'm going to see Pavement this month. And I'm gonna go see Infinite Pursue at the end of this month too. And Willie J. Healy. Don't know if you know that guy. But yeah, all the time. I was at Green Man Festival as well this year, which is in Wales. That's just like a weekend of watching live music and stuff. So yeah, try and do it as much as possible. Really, I love it. I just have to wear my earplugs now because my ears are getting tired and I'm going deaf and stuff. So I have to be like the guy in the back with like the earplugs in and shit.
I had to literally do that too as well. I had to go buy a pair because I understand what you mean. I cherish my hearing. I'm sure like you do. So the last thing I want to need is to have an unfortunate hearing loss problem. So
exactly, yeah. I mean, because I've been like, been working on some new music at the minute, and like when I'm working on music, I have to like listen to it really loud in my headphones, so it like it feels better to just do that. And then I keep waking up with like ringing in my ears and shit, and yeah, it's scary. You have to look after your ears.
definitely, yeah, that's something that I think kind of talking about that a little bit more. That I don't know if you've seen that film. It's called The Sound of Metal. It was
Yeah, I
a
saw
drum.
that.
Yeah, that one hit me hard. I think that's what made me realize. And I guess for the people back home who don't know what we're talking about, it's a film on Amazon Prime, and it's about a drummer who lost his hearing due to like heavy metal. Going to concerts and not wearing ear protection. And unfortunately, he's now living with a cochlear implant due to his him being deaf now. So it's a very scary thing to think about. So like
Yeah,
I said, almost like you, I adopted the wearing of earphones now to going
yeah.
to concerts because I think it's an important feature. I didn't realize.
Yeah, it's super important. Yeah, that film was terrifying. Actually, yeah, like
Yeah.
a horror. That's like a horror movie for musicians. Yeah,
That's exactly what this is. That I'm telling you, that's the one movie that really made me say, you know what, I need to go and buy those earplugs. So,
yeah, for
um,
sure.
luckily where I work, they gave them out for free, so I just took a couple.
Nice.
But
That's good. Gotta
anyways,
wear them.
kind of being where you're from, in Liverpool, how does it help you shape the way you make your music, perhaps?
Um, I actually grew up near a city called Sheffield in England, which is like an hour and a half away from Liverpool. But kind of grew up around. It's a place called the Peak District, which is like a big national park. Like lots of hills and countryside and stuff. And I think that definitely had an influence on like me quite a lot. And even musically, like or like spiritually, I don't know. It's quite like a calming, like beautiful place. Um, so yeah, I think that kind of impacted me. And then Liverpool was kind of exciting, and there's a lot of stuff going on, um, and very musical, and everyone's sort of like pushing each other and stuff, and encouraging each other a lot in the music scene. So yeah, I think the combo of that has probably had like two different impacts on me, like where I've sort of grown up doing music. But yeah, I think environment's important for being in like a good space to create and feel inspired and stuff. Um, so yeah, it's nice to like I like going back home and spending some time in the Peak District because kind of like chills you out. Um, yeah, there's something like inspiring about it. It just makes you want to like make like some nice, beautiful music for the hills and stuff. Um, so yeah,
Well, yeah, yeah. I mean, again, if anyone has listened to your music, they would know that the music's just very calming, and perhaps maybe that's where you're getting it from is going back and just kind of rejuvenating yourself, kind of energizing yourself to probably go back and start, um, doing this. And it's amazing. Like I said, you've recently just, I believe, recently you just had like a couple songs come out. Maybe perhaps I'm wrong or
I
somewhere along those
released
lines, but
I released a little EP earlier this year. Yeah, it was like a
yeah,
little folky country sort of thing, which
yeah, yeah.
was
It was the Kinky Ohm, correct?
oh no, that was like
Oh,
that was 2020. Yeah, that was like the last proper album, which is
gotcha.
also that was like a very they put the idea of that was sort of like I'll try and get into a lot of um like Eastern spirituality. And like I went through a period of like just reading loads and loads of books and like watching stuff about Hinduism, Buddhism, and stuff. So I guess that album was sort of like it's kind of a classic thing, I guess, but like Western man tries to get into Eastern spirituality or something, philosophy. Um, and then yeah, earlier this year I made a little sad cowboy album, well EP, um, that I didn't really promote too much because it was so different from what I kind of normally do. Um, but yeah, that's there on the Spotify. Some little sad,
Yeah, yeah.
folky cowboy songs. Yeah. So
You
that
know
was
what?
fun.
You just gave me an idea now. So next time I'm in the studio and when I'm not interviewing anyone, it's going to be sad folk cowboy music. I think
Yeah.
that's going to be the tune. You know what? And I'm just your whole EP is just going to be playing the whole time on
Sick.
repeat.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, you should check it out, man. It's kind of silly, like tongue in cheek a little bit. Um, but yeah, I went through a phase of getting really into country music, and it's all got this sort of like half sad, half funny lyrics and stuff. So I don't know, yeah, that was like lockdown time when I was searching for some way to like get inspired, and I just thought I'd make a little cowboy EP.
And was there any particular country artist you listened to perhaps get you into that mood?
Quite a few, yeah. There was this guy that was really big was Roger Miller, who is from Nashville or something, I think. And it's kind of half country, half just like weird storytelling. Um, and like Hank Williams and a lot of like the Elvis country stuff as well. And yeah, there's a lot of like funny like country like one hit wonders and stuff. That
You
I
know,
was just like
I'm pretty sure
deep diving.
you know this band called Ween, I believe.
Yeah, man, Powder
They,
Blue by Ween. Yeah, that was like a
yeah, you know what I'm talking about. What song was that one? You know what I'm talking. It's
there's
the
one there's one called they
ye-
did a cover as well of somebody I can't remember who they did the original. Oh no, maybe that is
oh
the
here,
original.
it's helped me scrape the mucus off my
Yeah,
brain.
yeah, that one.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
one.
yeah, yeah. They just did a
That
whole
was a good
country
one.
album for no reason as well. I love that album. Yeah, it's really cool. Shout out to Ween.
So, as of right now, though, why did you gravitate towards the style of music you play right now? Was there something that kind of triggered and said, this is what I want to make for sure?
Mm. I don't know. I don't know if anything. I don't know if it was really like a decision. I think it was just sort of what I started writing like a sort of songs, like the songs for Eternal Slowdown were all written pretty like soon, like or like closely together. Um, and I don't think it really. I think like the guitar sound was something that I was probably like kind of inspired by like um Conan Moccasin by um and then I don't know, yeah, I just sort of I felt like felt like sound sorry, what was I trying to say? I felt like I'd found a sound that I like felt really comfortable doing and was like enjoying doing. Um and like I don't know, yeah, I kind of felt like I was able to sort of make that sound my own as well. Um as opposed to sort of feeling like I was just ripping people off all the time. Uh, so yeah, I think I just kind of fell into it really instead of it being a concrete decision. Um, and then yeah, just kind of like rolled with it, I guess. And I guess it's always sort of developing and changing a little bit as well. But um, yeah, I feel like I found my own like little pocket of where I can sit with the sound and stuff. Um, so yeah.
Yeah, it's good. I mean, I don't know if maybe it's just I'm not looking anywhere else, but you have such a unique sound to your music, especially towards the way you sing in the music. It's just very again, I keep saying it, but it's just there's no I don't know. It's just such a calming feeling listening to your music, and it's just something I haven't personally listened to anywhere else. And again, just you know, it's just something that just you like. I don't know. I guess what I'm just trying to say is people who haven't heard it have to hear it to understand what I mean. There's really it's such a beautiful sound that you make, and I think that I'm very appreciative of that because it's like again, someone who like I mentioned earlier, I think before we talked this, music has such a beautiful sound that you can interpret it one way and I can the other way, and we still love it. And it's just something that is just such a beautiful thing to listen to, especially since um, growing up, I was always into the my music taste back then wasn't the same as it is now. But listening to this now is just kind of like it makes me appreciate everything I've had. I don't know if I'm making any sense at all. It's just much more that the music that's being made that by you is just um, it reminds me of my youth back when I was a kid, when
Yeah.
I first listened to it and everything, and how naive I was to this world. And now that I'm an adult, I'm about to graduate. It's just a surreal thing to to re-listen to it and just be like, I remember those days. It's just such a
Yeah.
calming thing.
Yeah, I love that. I think yeah, I feel like there's a few people that would maybe say the same, or like sometimes I'll get comments on my YouTube videos or like messages on Instagram saying like, "Oh my God, I've been listening to you since 2018 or something, and this song just came on and it reminded me of when this happened or whatever." And that is cool because I guess that means that like it was connecting with people in that time of their life or something. And it's like stuck with people. But yeah, it's always amazing when you like hear a song that you've not heard for like 5 years and you hear it again. You're like, oh my God, and you can remember like everything that was going on at the time when you like loved it and stuff.
Yeah,
So
like
yeah, when people say that, it's always nice because it means that it must have like really connected with them at that time, sort of thing, which is really cool.
no, and it did because with you, like I mentioned earlier, it was much more that I was just on YouTube. Like I was driving down home and just on YouTube, and your song came out on the recommended. It's just I remember just driving down the expressway and just listening to it. And it was just so like it took me back, and I just remember like I'm here now in Austin, but I used to back at the hometown. It just reminded me of those times where I used to hang out with my family and just enjoy the simple things in life. And it's just something that I guess I'm very grateful for.
Yeah, I love
So
that. I love that.
but yeah, kind of going back towards, you right now, looking back at the previous stories, how has it shaped you and put the live music scene into perspective for you, perhaps?
Oren, yeah, I mean, I think it's probably quite different here than it is over there. Um, but yeah, when I was about 19, 20, I went on tour with um, old band I used to play in Trudy and the Romance. And we did like a 30-day tour supporting this band called um, The Beautiful South, who's like sort of like big alt from like the 90s, like UK band. We were doing all these theaters and stuff. But just like being on the road for like 30 days was really weird and like kind of exhausting, but like obviously a good experience and stuff. Um, so yeah, that had like that kind of like was like, oh, I'm like, I know how to tour now. And then with Brad Stank stuff, I've never really done like a huge tour. It's normally just been like 4 or 5 gigs here, and then like maybe a few that like it's never been like 2, 3 weeks altogether and stuff. Um, but touring in the UK is kind of easy because it's like not as big as the US or whatever. So and normally have friends in like a lot of cities, so we can just like chill and stay on people's couches and stuff. But yeah, it's interesting. It's all like it's really fun. I'm going on tour in November um, in France and in the UK, and I can't wait. I've not really done like a run of shows for probably since COVID. Um, so yeah, it's gonna be nice to like get back into it and stuff.
And do you have like the butterflies going back into this? You know, is it a? I mean, I'm sure you're pretty excited about it. It's just much more. Are you kind of like little butterflies? You know, kind of getting back into the live
Yeah,
music scene there.
it's weird. Yeah, I mean, my band is really great, but we probably don't practice enough because everyone's really busy. And one of my guys, Jake, he lives in a different city and stuff. So like at the minute, I'm kind of just hoping that we're gonna like be tight enough to like impress people and shit, you know. But yeah, no, I'm sure it'll be fine. I don't tend to get too nervous before shows, because I just think if it goes bad, then I don't know. Just you obviously try and make it as good as possible before you start or whatever. But um, you know, if there's some like terrible disaster, there's not much you can do about it and stuff. So um, yeah, and I mean, having like a couple of beers before a show always helps as well. So um,
Cools the
yeah,
nerves a bit. You know, just get you chilled out for a while. I see that.
yeah, never too bad.
There you go. So is there any stories perhaps that you want to share about the tours you've previously been on? Anything funny? Anything cool, perhaps?
Um, Anything funny? I think there's not really any like super funny stories that I can remember, to be honest. It's always weird when you get like people coming up to you after the shows and asking for like to sign like a record and stuff. And that's always really nice. It's not even funny, but that's always really cool. I like that. But yeah, the funny stuff normally comes like after the show when we go like partying with like the band and stuff, you know. Probably stuff that I don't want to like snitch on any of my friends or anything for being weird and stuff. But yeah, I mean, we have like there was one show that we played a few years ago with Trudy. We played the Royal Albert Hall in London, uh, which is like a really prestigious venue. You know, there's like people sat in the crowd with like their fingers in their ears and stuff. Um, and yeah, we got like yeah, that was a really wild night. We had like family backstage and stuff. There's all these pictures of like mega celebrities like in the same room that you're stood in. Um, yeah, like partying with like the bands that you're supporting is always kind of weird, uh, but fun. I met Clairo once. I supported Clairo in Manchester, but that wasn't even funny. It was just kind of nice. It was just like nice to meet Clairo and stuff. We got like a little picture together. Um, but yeah, no, nothing too crazy. I mean, nothing really that crazy happens. No like crazy fans or anything. Um, Everyone's just normally super nice and sings along and like buys a bit of merch and stuff. And then we just everyone nothing too crazy basically.
Everyone just vibes at the concert. You know, everyone's just doing on their own thing.
Yeah, I don't think my music really like brings out any like wildness in anyone. You know, I think everyone's normally pretty chill. It's not like if we were playing like mad punk music or something, you know, everyone's like wasted. And I think most people come to my shows just like a little bit stoned or something. You know, like everyone's really chilled. So.
So am I hearing we're probably going to get a punk album from Brad Stank? Is
I
that
mean, if
something?
it's gonna, I need some funny tour stories, obviously. So you're gonna have to change the music up. You have to get everybody
You
going wild in the concerts and stuff. So
just have the
yeah,
mosh pits going. I think
yeah,
that'd be some.
yeah.
But just kind of still, I guess now on the topic of your songs now, right? You know, how does a song come into existence? Perhaps is there some themes you try to follow when you're making your music?
Mm. Um, it normally starts with me sitting on the couch there, um, with my guitar, um, and just sitting playing guitar for quite like until something like sticks or something. Then I'll come and sit here on the computer that I'm at now, and I don't know. I try and start with like drums and stuff. Oh, sorry, hold on. Yeah, normally start with the drums, on the guitar chords, and then I'll just like noodle on the guitar with like for like lead guitar stuff for like however long that takes. Um, Most of the time, it's always best when it's really quick. You know, you just sort of like everything sort of like snaps into place really easily. Um, and then yeah, sort of just sit with this microphone and like sing gibberish over the music for a little bit, and then something will something eventually comes and stays. Um, so yeah, it's always like pretty loose way of doing it, I suppose. But um, yeah, a lot of the time I'll find like I'll be reading something and see like a phrase that I really like and take like the song title from that. I've got one here. Hold on, where is it? Yeah, here we go. Don't know if you can see this, but this one's called, oh, it's backwards too, but there's a poem that I really like called Thoughts of You and Ending. And that's the title of one of my new tunes, which is coming out like next month, I think. So yeah, I'll just like sit and read stuff and then I'll be like, oh, that sounds really cool. And then I'll like write a song based around that. Or yeah, there's a lot of that stuff. Lots of stealing poems and stuff. Um, so yeah, it can change all the time from song to song.
Yeah, right on. I mean, again, you do it in such a methodically right way. It's just something that just comes natural. Again, just listening. I keep saying it over and over, but just listening to it feels just so natural. When, especially when you're singing and doing stuff, and it's just something that I believe that you're doing it right. Some like everyone. I guess every artist has a different way of making songs. I guess, and it works out at the end of the day. And the way you said it, it makes a lot of sense too. Usually I get like, oh, we sit down and just the band gets together, but there's much more that you gather stuff from poems, stuff that you find interesting, and it's just something that it's just an interesting take I've never heard of, and I think it's a very interesting thing to say nonetheless, for sure.
Yeah, I think even with that poem and like I've got a few like poetry books and stuff, but even if you see something that just inspires you, the way it sounds or like um sometimes I'll not rip something off like exactly, but something will like give you an idea that you're reading or something. Um, and that's obviously like once you have that like spark of inspiration for a song, then it's nice when it just sort of like rolls and comes out sort of naturally. Yeah, I really hate like forcing myself to put songs together because I feel like you can hear it afterwards, like that it feels a bit forced and stuff.
Gotcha.
Yeah. So
And
yeah. Sorry, go on.
oh no, go for it. No, go for it. I'm sorry for interrupting.
Yeah, no, I was just saying. I feel like that's why a lot of, especially those early songs, like that are sort of my biggest ones on Spotify or whatever. They were all supernaturally written and recorded and stuff, and it was very. There was nothing. I wasn't expecting it for anyone to ever hear it, sort of thing. So it was all made with like no pressure whatsoever, and I feel like people can hear that in it as well, somehow. And if I was forcing music out, then I feel like people could hear that as well, and it wouldn't connect with people as much, maybe.
Would you agree with this statement? So earlier I was interviewing some other band, and they mentioned that they make music for themselves. It's something that they feel like they would be proud of, or something like that. I guess rather, if you as an individual didn't like what you were creating, you don't think you would be genuine to people who would be listening to you. So is that a statement perhaps you would maybe agree with?
For sure, yeah. I think that's the only reason you should ever do it is to like satisfy something within yourself. And then yeah, I think people are more likely to resonate with it as well, and relate to it and stuff. Um, yeah, I mean, it's kind of why I don't like. I've always kind of been tempted and encouraged to move down to London, because it's a lot of the music industry in England is in London. But I know how competitive it is down there, and I don't want to like fall into that trap of like feeling like I have to be like the best, or like the biggest or something. Because I feel like people sort of fall into that thing of like, because there's so many bands and stuff, and everyone's really competitive. It's like you lose focus on why you really like want to do music, you know. So yeah, it's good to just enjoy it, and if you're not enjoying it, then I think people will hear that as well, yeah, in your music, and it's like it's also just not worth doing it, you know, because it's such a the industry is mostly bullshit. So
So it's more of just being genuine to yourself and to, I guess, really, yeah, in a sense, just be genuine to yourself and people will hear that. I think that's something that,
for sure.
yeah. Okay, cool. Yeah. And, so here's the hardest question I'm going to ask you. Hopefully you had time to think about it. But
Oh,
let's
shit.
say you're in an island. Let's just say you're in an island, right? You can only have 3 songs on repeat that you've made.
Wow.
It can be from past songs or perhaps new songs that we haven't heard as an audience. Which 3 songs would they might be?
My own songs.
Only the Brad Stank songs.
Wow. Okay. Um, I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go OTD. 3 songs, yeah.
Yeah. Or would it be easy if I made it a 4 or 5?
No, I'm gonna go OTD. My Tuna from Eternal Slowdown, and the last song on Kinky On, which is called Kinky On. And yeah, they'll be my 3, I think.
There
Just
you
because
go, right?
they're the most hypnotic, so I feel like they're the ones that they're the ones that probably annoy me the least. Because
Gotcha.
I can like still get like a little bit like lost in them or something. Like, yeah, I was in my bag when I wrote this. Or I don't know.
So I guess on a personal question, where is Watering the Garden at, you suppose, on that list?
Probably quite low down. I do like that song, but it's very, I don't know. I like the song, but yeah, I wouldn't want to have to listen to it every day on like a desert island. Definitely start to
That
get
means,
too much.
especially because it's probably because there's just going to be sand everywhere. Right? You can't really water anything.
Yeah, exactly. There's no watering can on the island, you know. You can't like you can't get into that song at all. Yeah.
I that's valid. That's very valid.
Yeah. So yeah, that'll be my 3. Yeah, Water in the Garden. I don't know. Flirting in Space would be at the bottom. Um, yeah, but I mean, you know, it's hard to like your old music, like many years after you've made it and stuff. But yeah,
Well, and so now, just right now, right? I guess just now, you guys just now we're all having fun now. So, or rather, let's put it this way: any artist that you listen to right now, and if so, what couple albums would you recommend for our audience to listen to?
ooh, that's a good one. Actually, today I've been listening to the album which is called Love Symbol by Prince. Which yeah, on Spotify it's just called Love Symbol because he like just had the weird Prince symbol thing for when it came out. I've been listening to that a lot today. It's really like it's kind of later Prince, and some of it's kind of weird, but some of it's like really beautiful as well, and
Yeah.
sexy and stuff. So yeah, I would say that one for today. Let me have a look at what else I've been listening to. But my music is like all over the place in playlists and stuff. Um, I would say I've been really enjoying this woman called Kate Bollinger at the minute as well. Um, she's been bringing out some singles this year, but she's really cool. Man, there's too many, lots of oldies as well. Richard Hawley, Cole's Corner is a really good album for this time of year.
Yeah.
I could go on for ages here, probably. Chet Baker
And is there any
Sings.
problem? Is there any, like maybe a playlist you've made collectively for all these people?
There is like a big playlist that I started making a few years ago, called Sex Essentialism 101, which I always forget to update, but I'm actually gonna do it. I'm gonna do it on Monday, I think. So yeah, that's probably the biggest collection of like songs that I would have like recommended in the past. But if you go onto my Spotify, if you go onto that playlist, you see, and I've got like there's like a million playlists on my Spotify for people to listen to and stuff. So
Yeah, you're tempting me with a good time. All right, don't get
Yeah,
me all started right now.
yeah.
Um, but yeah, so then speaking of artists now, right? If you can think about any artist right now, who would you love to collaborate with? It can be past, present, people who are alive, people who aren't. Who would that be?
It's a good question. There's a lot as well. Um,
I guess
really,
kind of like almost like the song question. You can just pick three. We can do three there.
okay. I mean, there's so many like like sad girls, like sad girl indie. It's kind
Yeah,
of like
yeah, yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
that's kind of like running my life right now. Um, I listen to loads of that kind of stuff. So yeah, maybe Kate Bollinger. She's just in a tune with Drug Dealer as well, which has kind of pissed me off. But yeah, I'd love to work with her, or like um, Adrian Lenker or something like that. Who else? I'd love to work with like Navy Blue, the rapper Navy Blue as well. Um,
Yep.
I think he's amazing. And then let's go for someone else. Probably have to just be like D'Angelo or something. Like if I could make a song with D'Angelo, probably that'd like complete my life. I think so. Yeah,
It would complete the whole cycle for you.
yeah. I could just quit at that moment. I think. Yeah,
you know if somehow D'Angelo comes out, you know that we've heard all of what Brad Stank is. The whole collaboration, we've heard everything, and it'll be the
yeah,
retirement of you.
yeah. I mean, imagine. Yeah, it'd be unreal.
Right
Um,
on. And as of right now, you mentioned earlier that you have some projects going on for later on. But is there something that you're currently working on right now? Maybe perhaps you can give us a sneak peek.
yeah. So there's a couple of I'm working on a couple of singles at the minute. I just got the masters back like earlier this week. Um, so one of them is like a solo thing, kind of back to like after the whole country thing. I've gone back to actually being like Brad Stank or whatever. And then I've got a tune with my friend Freak Slug, who I don't know if you're aware of, but she's from Manchester, which is like 30 minutes from Liverpool. Um, and she's doing really well herself. And I've known her for a few years now. We've done a song together before. Um, and yeah, so we've got another little collab coming up, um, which is like a weird, like a weird indie song. Um, but yeah, so that's what's coming up at the minute. And then sort of since the weather started getting colder here, I've gone into like album mode a little bit. So I'm gonna try and hopefully write an album to come out next year. Um, hopefully like April, May time. Um, and that'll be probably like 10 to 12 tunes or something. So yeah, I'm getting excited about getting in my own head and like conceptualizing all that sort of thing as well. Um, so yeah, that's kind of it really. Um, but it'd be cool to do some more collabs and stuff as well. In between that, maybe I've not got any like planned or anything, but um, yeah, always looking to like collaborate with different people and stuff too. Um, so yeah,
Right on. But yeah, yeah, definitely. And now kind of looking back at which all you've done, from you when you first started your music career to right now. If you could look back at your younger self, what kind of words of wisdom would you give yourself?
um, that's a tough one. It's weird because I feel like I had probably had less imposter syndrome when I was a kid than I do now. So I kind of wish I had that like fearlessness still or something, um, and like lack of pressure. I mean, there's not much pressure on it really, but um, yeah, sometimes it's kind of scary. But I don't know. What would I say to my younger self? I'd probably say like, I don't know. There's so many things I would say.
Mhm.
I'd say watch more movies. Because I barely ever watched any movies, and now everyone thinks I'm stupid for like not knowing movies and stuff.
it was crazy. People, speaking of that real quick, sorry for throwing it. I hadn't watched Fight Club at all until maybe
Right,
last year. And
right.
I guess I know what you mean. Is people will like literally like, you haven't seen Fight Club, and it's just like
Yeah.
you just are like, no, no, I
I have
haven't.
that. I have that all the time. Yeah. Everyone's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
you know, in that movie," and I'm like, "No, I don't. I've never seen it." Like, I don't know
Oh,
why. I was just never really into watching movies. I was always like listening, or like I was watching like music documentaries and or like YouTube live videos and shit. And like, yeah, I don't know. I never had like much. I've obviously like I've got some favorite movies and stuff, but compared to like everyone that I know, I feel like I've never seen any movies. Um, but yeah, I'd definitely tell myself, my younger self, to watch more movies. um, and yeah, just I think probably what I said before about being kind of genuine and honest and natural in music, not trying to sort of be too cool or anything, or um, feeling like you have to go a certain way with music and stuff. I think that would probably be helpful. Um, but yeah, movies is probably the top one actually.
that's a valid. It's very valid. So we've made it to the lot. So we're toward the end. And we want to thank you very much for coming by and just spending just an hour of your day just to chill out with us. It means a lot.
Sure.
But as of right now, do you have any closing thoughts or statements you want to shout out? I don't know. You want to do say something, do something.
Um. Ooh. I want to say check out Terry Venomous. Check out Dan Disgrace. Check out all my friends' music. Can't think of anyone else right now, which is annoying. Um. Yeah. Thanks for having me. I hope people have found it interesting. Um. And yeah, just just keep doing you, I guess.
Definitely. And if
Keep
you
on
want to,
keeping on.
do you have all your? I'm assuming all of your links are on, or all of your socials are just Brad Stein, correct? So everyone can just easily
Yeah.
find you right there. There
Instagram
you
is my
go.
main thing. Yeah. Twitter I don't really use that much. But yeah, Brad Stank everywhere. Yeah.
Even in MySpace.
Yeah. If I had it, it would be. Does that even still exist anymore?
I don't think so. I think that thing died a long time ago.
That's a shame. Yeah.
It,
It's a
it
shame.
is very much. But yeah, like I
Follow
said,
me on TikTok as well. I'm trying to get big on TikTok now because that's what you're supposed to do right now. So
are you doing the TikTok dances now?
no, but if I get to like if like 1,000 people follow me on TikTok, I'll do like a stupid TikTok dance or something.
You know what? We're gonna have a campaign to get you there. We're gonna get you. We're gonna. I'll be the head charge dude. Where I'm like, we got to recruit people just so we can see
I'm
that
gonna
the silly TikTok dance.
I'm gonna go and close my account now, I think. Before that happens.
All right. Well, yeah. Like I said, thanks for joining us. I will speak to you after this
Thanks.
interview. Right now, we're gonna go off the radio just a
Cool.
little bit. But like I said, just thanks for just joining us. And I guess yeah, like I said, it's been a pleasure.